Hey, what's up, guys? I am back and in action. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Jace. I'm a sex addict. Each week I come on and answer questions that are sent in to me or asked to me about my life as a sex addict or a person in recovery. And I liked the question I got in this week. It's kind of deep, but it was what was keeping me from living a fulfilled life. I talk now a lot of the time about having this full life and being full of energy and joy. And so I was asked what was keeping me from that full life before. Um, yes, the addiction, of course, but like what about that was keeping me from a full life? And three main things came to mind for me. The first was isolation, big time. I learned people need people. We are not designed to be lone wolves. I thought I was the exception to that for a long time. Maybe everybody else needs people, but I don't. Like, I'm tough, I'm really strong. Or the flip side, I don't want to burden anybody with the stuff I have going on. I don't want to be a problem or be a downer. So I'll just do everything on my own. And if I don't, then that's like there's a sense of pride that's lost there if I can't do it on my own. And so I was isolated from people. But the flip side of that, I was also isolated from any kind of spirituality or higher being or just believing in something, you know, out there. I was really isolated from that as well, which made a huge difference because then I felt alone and like really alone, not just from people, but from everything. So that isolation was a big one. The second one, fear. Easy fear. That kept me from doing the things that I wanted to do, talking to the people I want to talk to, taking the jobs that I might want to do, you know, being a different type of person, dancing when I wanted to dance, or, whatever it might be. It was that fear of so many things: fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of criticism, fear of being left out, fear of abandonment, fear of, being injured, fear of going broke again, whatever it might be. Fear of embarrassing myself was a big one. So fear played a huge role. And then what I have discovered has played the biggest role in most things in my life: ego. I'm not talking ego like I think I'm the greatest. No, ego in like I'm so unique. My pain is so unique to me that, the problem is only mine, and therefore, the solution has to be only mine as well. When in actuality, the stuff I go through, stuff I'm going through, things that were holding me back, it's universal pain, and there's universal healing as well. And that ego also in that, not asking for help from anyone, not letting anyone know I wasn't doing very well, that I was hurting a lot inside, and, just that pride that I was keeping up. Ego in the sense that I got this. I don't need it. I don't need a higher power. I don't need a program. I don't need recovery. I got this. That's what I'm talking about when I mean ego. That thing that kept me separate from healing, kept me separate from help, kept me separate from guides that have made huge differences, kept me separate from tools and resources, from, my friends and family, admitting there was a problem to myself. My ego kept me in addiction a lot longer than I needed to be. I don't know that you ever need to be in it, but if you do, don't be in it, any longer than you have to. And ego really kept all of that for me. And I think fear and ego kind of are two sides of the same coin in a lot of ways for me. So, I'm sure there was a lot of things, but those are the three big. Isolation kept me from living a fulfilled life. Fear definitely held me back from that full life. And the biggest thing of all, which I'm still, I try to strip it away little by little. That's what the program recovery I work does too. It's that ego. I think if we can find a way to connect with others, to live without fear, which also comes from not isolating, and to break that ego, which also comes from not isolating. I know my problem's not personal to me; it's universal. I know, my pain's not just mine. I know other people are struggling. I also know how they're working on stuff, and now that that ego's come down, I'm like, oh, let me try that. Oh, let me try that. Oh, what are you doing? I want to try that. And so they all kind of go together. And if you can start breaking one down, I think the others follow in suit. So if maybe those things are in your life as well, and you want to check on them, kind of see where you're at with each of them, I definitely don't think I would be feeling the joy I do today if those were still really strong in my life. So that's what I got for you. If anybody has any other questions, send them on over, or you want to, however I can help, or, whatever it is, even if you don't want to answer it here, you just want to send a question and have it answered. I do that as well with some folks. So, you can find me on my website, suddenlycelibate.com. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, and I'll be back next week. So in the meantime, stay curious.